Today we're talking about knockers, one of my favourite subjects. So today's subject is knockers. So instead of me talking the usual bullocks, today is knockers. When I was a young fella, probably the same as most of you guys out there in YouTube land, if you were doing a bit of fencing, the only type of knocker you could get hold of was this. Now, it works, and they whack your post in, but it's hard work, and you end up damaging knocker and your post. And then when you're a bit older, got a couple of quid perhaps, you develop to one of these chaps. Brilliant piece of kit if you've got shoulders like Arnie and you don't mind knocking yourself senseless a few times. How many of you have hit a post in, hit the top of the post, and then come back and create yourself some sore stars? Yeah, I'm one of them. So we got a little post knocking or ramming to do today. So I'm going to introduce you to my big knocker. Let's go. Right, so this is what I'm talking about. My Protect 180, which I got mounted on the front linkage, which is why I don't have a stiff neck. Excuse the cough. I bought this machine actually just after I bought the tractor. So we've had him 14 odd years. Look at his age a bit because he lives outside. But it does what I want. There are bigger knockers out there. There are machines that are, well, 5 times the size of this. So you can even buy machines which are self-propelled on tracks. But I wanted something that I could use by myself. I don't need a great big knocker. So this is something I can operate from inside the tractor, which you'll see, and I can do by myself. So we've done a load already. Yes, I started without you. But I've got another dozen or 20 posts to knock in, so I'm going to show you how I do it. So let's crack on. Still got the foot down, so I've got to watch the grain clearance on the front. We'll have a little walk round what I did yesterday. So the first job was to come out with a digger, which is you've seen on some previous footage, and clear away some of the lumps and bumps. The golf course had tipped soil and dirt and building rubber, God knows what out here. So there are certain places where the fencing, I couldn't get a straight line. So we've dug in the edges and we've knocked these posts in as straight as we can. There's a root on that one I hit, but they're going in fairly deep. This one, the post didn't go in straight, and I had the digger down here. And have you ever had that feeling that you're about to do something and you know you shouldn't do it? Well, that was yesterday. This post was in, it was sticking right at the front, so I thought I'd give it a nudge with the digger. What did I do? I snapped it off. I knew it was going to happen before I even did it. So we're going to replace that one this morning. So we've had to clear it out the side here. This area is going to be our wild area, but I'm going to maintain a ride around the outside so I can look after the hedges. And what we'll do is we're going to flail top that twice a year, and basically I'll do one half and then the second. We won't do it all in one go. Give somewhere for our owls to hunt. So, and this is the line of posts I put in yesterday. Straight-ish. Not dead straight, but you know, farmer straight. So we're using creosote posts. These are 5'6", 3 to 4 inch rounds, although I think they're pretty much all barely 3 inch. So I'm paying for 3 to 4 inch. So these will be clad with stock fence, a line of barbed wire inch above the stock fence, and then we're going to put electric on the top. So basically we're just going to fence the entire outside of the land of the golf course with electric supply, which means I can strip graze bits as and when I want, and I haven't got fences and gates in my way all the time. You're not very straight. Thing is, I know they're in there. Oh God, solid. So scratching about with the machine yesterday and the day before. These piles of dirt that are in here were right out. Well, you can see where I scratched it back to. Anybody putting fencing up will know it's much easier to tension up a nice straight line. So we're going to put another gate at the top here. We'll be putting our tensioners in later on. So I've got to finish off scratching it down that way and meet it around the corner, so I can basically maintain the ditch and the hedge from my side. And like I said, this is just grass. I'm just going to let this ride. Everything in there for the time being, the plans are to let it go fairly wild, and we'll have our bit of habitat. So there's a post I couldn't get in yesterday because of this tree. I've got to make the executive decision of whether to hit that in by hand with my small knocker, ground's hard here, or do I forfeit, take it off these branches so I can get the rammer underneath. I've got a funny feeling the lazy side's going to win on that one. So again, a bit more down there. So we've made a start. I did it without you, but you don't need to see everything I do. So today we're going to finish knocking in these posts this morning that I've got to go and do my dutiful son duty this morning, go and visit my parents. And this afternoon I'm delivering firewood. So what I don't get done this morning probably won't get done today. But it's a nice day, or a nice way, sorry, to start your Sunday. Lovely and peaceful, apart from the farmer bashing posts. Right then, get ourselves right, I'll get a string line up. Right, before we get started, I want to swap the rammer around. Which is why I left it up in the air. It's a handy function on these things that you can swing him right round to, using the pins and the holes. You can have him directly out sideways, which is quite often how it's mounted on a tractor rear. I prefer the 45 degrees because from the cab I can actually see the weight, the post, the foot, everything I can see, which means I can do it by myself. Right then, string line. Easiest string line, electric fence. So you might wonder why I've left such a big gap down the side here. Some will say, ooh, waste of grazing, but I'm leaving a green corridor up through here. Although I've cut this back with a flail to give me some room, I'm going to let this grow back in again, and it'll create a corridor up to our green and pleasant land. A bit of rough at the corner, so I don't mind losing this little bit. I'm having to go around. I'll take you with me. This was a big hazel. We couldn't make up our mind quite what to do with this, so for the time I've just bashed it down. I'll come in with a saw later on and just tidy this up, but obviously I can't put a fence through that, so I'm going to have to go around, so hence these posts like this. So not normal farming practice, but then I ain't a normal farmer, so right then, bashing time. So I hit this posted a couple yesterday, plus one more. But we'll do that with your sledgehammer. Easy as that. Right then, we'll bash it. Done. One of the only problems with a simple post knocker like this, with only the single adjustment on one side, is you've got to kind of try and keep the back wheels level and 90 degrees to the post, because if you're on a slope it will push the post knocker over. There's no adjustment. So luckily we're level ground down here, or most of it, but if we weren't level ground we probably wouldn't be able to use this machine. Right, this one's going to be fun. I'm going to get around this. But I think I'll do him last. I'll give you a better view. better. A 6-footer on the edge of a bank just gives me a bit more depth. Might have to go up a couple of cogs on the speed on this one. So that's it. There's only a bit to do this morning, but mission accomplished. I can go off and visit Mother now. I've got a load more posts to go in yet, but before I put the wire up, I've got to put tensioners on these corners just to give it a bit of support. I'm using high tensile wire and I want to put it tight. There's different ways of tensioning up corner posts. I'm going to go sort of middle of the road, just the 45 degrees tensioners, but that'll be a different film. Right, over a cup of tea.